Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are from the first group of subject Kehidupan, Sosial, Budaya, Inggris. I'm Wanda Mahaputri.
I'm Regita Dwi Amanda. In this video, we will talk about Chapter 1, the country. Enjoy the explanation!
Number 1. Geographical identification. United Kingdom, the official name for constitutional and political purposes, is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, commonly referred to as UK or Britain. This includes mainland England, Scotland, and Wales. Island groups. Great Britain comprises the mainland of England, Scotland, and Wales. Next is Northern Ireland, shares the second large island with the Republic of Ireland or IRE. Next is smaller island, include places like Anglesey, the Isle of Wight, Orkney Island, Shetland Island, Hebridean Island, and Scilly Island, which are part of British political union. Okay, next is self-governing territories. Isle of Man and Channel Islands, not part of the UK but are self-governing crown dependencies with their own laws and administration. The British government handled defense and foreign affairs for these territories. Political division. A. Regions versus local government structure. Regions are not equivalent to local government structure but can be used for various purposes such as economic planning, assistance areas, or supply allocation for utilities like gas, water, and electricity. B is devolution process. Since 1999, there has been a shift towards devolving power from the central government in London to regional parliament is in Edinburgh, aka Scotland, Cardiff is Wales, and Belfast is Northern Ireland. C is local identity trends. Historically, local identities were stronger among rural communities but now tend to focus on city-level identities, or AGs, Manchester, Liverpool, Glasgow, Belfast, London, Cardiff, or country-level affiliation over border regional ones.
The next one is physical features and climate. Britain's physical geography has greatly influenced its human settlement, industry, and agriculture throughout history. These regions have shaped political and economic activities, including the development of natural sources such as coal, woodlands, and fisheries. Britain's terrain is divided into highland and lowland areas, with the highest points found in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Notable geographical features include the Giant Causeway, the Cliffs of Dover, and Ben Nevis, the tallest peak in Britain. The separation from the European mainland occurred during the last ice age, when rising sea levels created the English Channel. The climate is generally temperate, with moderate variation between north and south. Rainfall is heavier in the west and north, particularly in the upland areas, while the south and east are drier. The North Atlantic current helps keep temperatures mild despite Britain's northern latitude. Coastal changes and erosion are ongoing, and concerns about environmental degradation have grown. Additionally, the countryside has become a political issue, with rural inhabitants feeling neglected by the government.
Number 3 is agriculture, fishery, and forestry. A. Agriculture. Agriculture soils vary across Britain, with eastern and southern areas having the most fertile land. The climate generally supports productive farming, with 299,000 farms, using 76% of the land. Agriculture employs is 600,000 people and supplies 2/3 of Britain's food. Key sectors include dairy, beef, sheep farming, and arable crops like wheat and barley. However, the industry faced challenges like disease outbreaks, designing pieces, and the effect of the EU's Common Agricultural Policy or CAP, which has sparked debates about its impact farmer and food supply. B is fisher. Britain, a major European fishing nation, focuses on the North Sea, Irish Sea, and Atlantic. Although the fishing fleet catches fish like a COD and haddock, overfishing has reduced stock, resulting in economic decline for coastal communities. C is forestry. Britain has around 66 million acres of woodland, below the European average. The government promoted tree planting to reduce the country's reliance on imported timber, as only 15% of national wood needs are met domestically. Environmental concern persists over deforestation, disease, and storm damage, with effort underway to exchange conservation practices.
Next is energy resources. Britain's primary energy sources are oil 45%, gas 30%, and coal 20%, and nuclear hydropower 5%, with electricity being the most important secondary sources. Energy production employs 200,000 people, and major companies like Shell, BP, and British Gas dominate the sector. Offshore oil and gas production has boosted self-sufficiency since 1980, but there are concerns about environmental damage and pollution. Renewable energy sources, such as wind, tidal, and solar power, are growing but currently produce only 3% of electricity, with a target of 10% by 2010. Critics argue for more investment in renewable energy, nuclear power, and cleaner coal. Britain still faces challenges in providing affordable and environmentally friendly energy.
Number 5 is transport and communication. Transport and communication in Britain are divided between the public and private sector, with many state-run services now privatized. The country's transport system includes roads, railway, shipping, and civil aviation, with the British Telecom, competing companies, and the Post Office providing communication service. A. Transport. Roads. Government agencies manage roads, with the motorways and trunk roads handling most traffic. However, some roads suffer from stagnation, and poor condition. Car transport is dominant, accounting for 86% of passenger mileage, with a commercial vessel moving 80% of inland freight. Next is buses. Private car use has a reduced public bus service, especially in rural area, but bus operation where deregulated and privacy with a local service often inadequate. Next is railways. Railways are privatized in 1997, but the government Interpretation was a request due to poor performance. Rail account is for 5% of passenger travel and many liners are outdated. The website increased electrification and faster train services are often criticized for overcrowding, delays, and poor maintenance. Next is air transport. Britain's civil aviation, now privatized, includes major carriers like British Airways and Virgin Atlantic. There's are concern over air traffic congestion and significant airport expectations are planned to handle rising demand. Shipping to Britain has a 300 port. Most are small with a few handling most of the trade. The shipping fleet has a decline since a peak, but 77% of overseas trade is still carried by sea. B is communication. The communication system in Britain are divided between the public and private sector, with a private telecommunication companies and the public post office. Being the main provider, British Telecom or BT was provided since in 1684 and the site in initial service improvement has faced challenges in funding and expansion. Private companies like Vodafone and Cable and Wireless compete with the BT, and cable networks are expanding in the telecommunication sector, particularly in mobile internet service. By 2000, mobile phones use had risen significantly with a 33 million user and 25% household had internet access. The post office, founded in 1635, remains a government-owned entity responsible for acting benefit. While private country over some competition, the post office maintains a strong presence both domestically and internationally. Despite the rise of electronic communication.
6. Attitudes to the environment. There is significant public concern over environmental issues such as pollution, traffic congestion, energy use, and the quality of natural habits. Urban sprawl, housing development, and supermarket encroaching into rural areas have harmed many, with 80% of people in 1997 surveyed expressing concern about the future of the countryside. Despite governmental efforts like creating the Environment Agency and enacting protection law, many believe these measures are insufficient as polluters evade regulation and environmental protection are weakly enforced. Air pollution, mainly caused by factories and vehicles, continues to pose health risks, particularly during high ozone levels. While carbon emissions have been reduced, the decline in public transport has led to more car usage, seen as a significant issue. The public support improving public transportation and reducing road congestion, though they remain resistant to entirely banning cars in cities. Other environmental concerns include sea and beach pollution caused by untreated sewage and industrial waste, and contamination of rivers and drinking water by fertilizer and industrial runoff. Though some cleanup efforts have improved conditions, the agricultural sector faces criticism for its environmental impact, including pesticide use, loss of herbivores, and concern over food safety from intensive farming practices. Public distrust of genetically modified GM crops and supermarkets selling safe food remains high, with a preference for traditional farming methods and organic products. despite their higher costs, while many environmental issues remain unresolved. Public demands for stronger action and stricter regulation continues to grow.
That's all the explanation from chapter 1.
Hope you can understand our explanation.
Thank you very much.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.